Howdy, folks. Howdy, howdy. I'm Black Dragon, and welcome to another edition of Black Dragon Biker News Network. Biker news you can trust. And always, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in from wherever it is in the world that you happen to be. What is it? Wednesday morning? Something like that? Yeah, Wednesday morning. Hope you guys had a good, what was it? Labor Day? You know, I don't think they respect us laborers. If you ask me, they ain't respecting us in things like they should. And and it hurts. But look, man, we're out here trying to make it for our families and stuff, and then enjoy these motorcycles on the weekends. That's what we do. The subject of today's show, and oh, by the way, if you're just now tuning in, we do biker stuff, mostly as it has to do with motorcycle clubs. And that's kind of what we do. It's a lot of fun. Monday through Friday, and then again on Sunday evening, we have the round table where we have guests on from all over the motorcycle club diaspora, and we talk about really cool things. And then we have MC Protocol videos that run throughout the week. So we put out content every single day. Check us out and hang out with us. I see I got my club brothers on from the Mighty Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club Nation. Man, it's good to see you guys. It's good to see you out there, Doc and everything. And my other brothers, I absolutely miss a couple of my brothers that have started new jobs and stuff. Ouch, they ain't on here. Good to see all of my subscribers. Good to see everybody here. Mike Ball has some incredible news and some things that are happening to him. I can't wait till he shares them. Hopefully he'll maybe come on the show and tell us all about all the incredible things that have happened in his life. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about something that one of my club brothers said to me. We were upset about something, and he made a statement. He goes, well, that's what you get when all you get these days are these No Child Left Behind kids as members. And I was like, wow. I was like completely blown away by that statement. No Child Left Behind members. And I remember, so my nephew is about getting close to 40 if he's not 40 already. My daughter is 36. Um, so I can remember putting him through school, and and I can remember all of the stuff that was going on in school in those days. See, in my day, and so the name of this is No Child Left Behind and how it has destroyed the motorcycle club, how it's destroyed today's motorcycle clubs. And when I spend all day, almost every day, talking to motorcycle clubs, counseling them, giving advice. You would be surprised at who calls me. Riding clubs, motorcycle clubs, traditional MCs, um, uh, co-ed MCs, Mason MCs, Christian-based MCs, Muslim-based MCs, you name it. 99 percenter, 1 percenter, 0 percenter, you name it. They call all day long. And typically we have discussions about what's going on in the clubs, and a lot of times they'll call me up to say, well, how do we fix them? So that's why I think I might call myself the MC doctor. Yeah, I, I like that. The MC doctor. You guys like that for me? But people call me up. How do you start a motorcycle club? And I have helped so many motorcycle clubs start. Like I can tell you that I've started. You guys know how many clubs I've started of the Black Sabbath. But what you don't know is how many clubs I've started for organizations that ain't even mine. Of course, I always try to get them to become Black Sabbath first. I'm always trying to get my own jab in. But when I talk to these clubs, they all have the same problems. Every single one of them, from the Baca kind of clubs, the ones that are protecting children, and the ones that are protecting women, and the ones that are granting wishes for children, and every single configuration, veterans club, you name it, every kind of consideration of club, they all have the same damn problems. And when they call me, it's almost like, I thought I was going to hear something different. Hell, you got the same problems we got. They have problems that we didn't have in my day. And I know you're gonna say, I know. You're gonna say, oh man, you old people, every time you want to talk about way back in my day, everything was great. Yes. Sometimes we go overboard on that. Everything wasn't always that damn great. I get you. But in my day, there were problems that we didn't have that we have today. And I got to wonder if it's not because of all these damn Ritalin babies. There was a time when I went to school that if you screwed up, you got your ass toe up from the flow up. When my mom took me to school, she would say to the teachers, hello, my name is Miss Bunch. This is my son, John. She'd go meet each teacher. Listen, if he talks in class, beat his ass. If he talks back, beat his ass. If he's not paying attention, beat his ass. If you just don't like him one day, beat his ass. And then after you beat his ass, call me up at home. And when he gets there, I will beat his ass. You're like, whose side is she on? She can't be on my side. What the hell is wrong with my mother? She has lost her marbles. She's sitting here losing her marbles right now. She just told this stranger to beat the hell out of me. And you're just looking at her like, you doomed me. I'm doomed. I was going to show out in class and everything, and I've been doomed right here. And the teachers, no, they knew it. You don't want to pay attention in class, Mr. Bunch? Shall I call your mother after I've beaten your ass? You know I have permission. And you're like, wow. No, I'll behave, Mr. Blackmailer. I'll behave. And then, you know, where I came from, you could get it from everybody in the neighborhood. Miss Parks, who lived down the street on the corner, might beat your ass. Then you got to pass the Brodericks. Then you had to pass the Smiths. And then across the street were the Stinetts. And then the Anthonys were one house over. And there were 3 or 4 more before you even got off the block. 2809 Lincoln Avenue, Lawton, Oklahoma. 731. I can't remember the rest. It's where I grew up. 2809 Lincoln Avenue, Lawton, backwoods, dirt road, Oklahoma. And everybody that lived on that strip could beat your ass. Still go back there sometimes. Those families are still there. I remember the soft teacher, Mr. Marriott, 7th grade. I went to, oh my goodness, it was a brand new school they built for us. Mayfield Junior High up in Oklahoma City, out in, where was it? Northwest side, out there past Bethany, I think, if I can remember right. Mayfield Junior High. I went there. It's probably shut down now, right? I was there when it was brand new. And there was this, I don't want to say gay. I don't know if he was gay. He was soft. A pushover. Of course he was a pushover. He was the I don't know what the name of that was. He's the guy who taught theater. We didn't call it theater, but he taught theater and stuff like that. And he was the theater teacher. He taught us how to do plays. He taught me how to enunciate, if you will. He taught me many of the things that you see. Back then, school, it was a place you went to learn. School was everything. You had physical education. We had a PE coach. You had the theater teacher. We had music. This was free. The only thing your mom had to do was buy the instrument, that or rent it. But we had football. We had these things. There was none of this. You got to buy your own pads. This was all provided by the school. I didn't have any of this. And somebody said I grew up Catholic, and I was part of the last line of kids to get hit by the teachers. I went to Catholic school too. My first part of my school life was at Catholic school with the nun, Sister Mary Ann Teresa. God burn her soul in eternal damnation. She was that penguin beat the hell out of me. I think I wrote about her in my book, President's Bible. She beat me mercilessly. Now she was a child abuser. We had those two. But I remember this Mr. Marriott, and he was so soft. He was a pushover. And me and the fellows, we took pleasure at screwing up and taking over his class and showing off in front of the girls by standing up to Mr. Marriott until one day Mr. Marriott wasn't having it. He he took me, Garland Davis, two black kids, and a white kid. I forget his name. Big old thick country. You know, we were from Oklahoma. Big old thick country farm white boy he took out there. What? Biggest kid in the damn class. And, you know, together we formed a trio of the tough guys. We all marched out. Mr. Marriott's going to paddle us. Ha! The soft guy. So the tough white guy, well, he was the first one to go. He stood in front. So they went. You had to have a witness. So he went and got the coach, and the coach was this big dude. You know how coaches were. He was this big dude, 6'7" or something, intimidating. Now you didn't want to get hit by the coach. No, that's God no. God no. I don't actually know anybody that was ever hit by him. It's just you just knew. Oh no, that cat with them arms on him. No, you just didn't even give the coach any hell like you gave Mr. Soft Ass Marriott. Mr. Marriott took us out in the hallway, and the white dude, he was the first to go. He marched up. Looked at us both, gave us the head up. We gave him the head up back. That's right, brother. I'm going to take this and go back and run his class. The white kid bent over. He had to grab your ankles. Mr. Marriott reached into Jupiter, perhaps out to Pluto, maybe. He reached up, and God we trust, and almost levitated off the ground as he came down in almost a golf-like fashion. Two hands followed through, eye on the butt, eye on the butt, eye on the wow, and then followed through with it. And I saw my dude, my farm dude, big tough dude, bro. I saw that cat stand straight up and lift and elevate on his toes. And though he didn't utter a word, his teeth bit into his lips until they bled. And he swallowed a bit, and you could just see the tears bursting from his eyes with his eyes closed and his hands balled up in a fist. But old boy just held. And I looked at Garland Davis, and Garland Davis looked at me, and we looked at the coach, and his mouth was, even the coach's mouth was wide open in disbelief. I don't even think the coach wanted none of Mr. Marriott. Mr. Marriott looked at him again. All right, bend it back on over. Your boy, faithful dude. I loved that dude. Faithful, your old boy bent on back over, bro. And he said, follow through. Wow! Then the big dude fell to the ground. No tears. He didn't cry. He was so, I mean, you could see the tears, but it was not like he was, it was tears that come out that you can't stop from coming out. The tears are almost like sweat. They beat it up around his eyes. They didn't just fall. They beat it up and then dropped off. And your boy turned around. eyes was half open, and he said in a feeble voice, "Do I have to take another one?" Ah! And the coach stepped in. The coach stepped in and said, "No, son, you don't have to take another one of those." And Mr. Marriott said, "Oh, yes, you do." I said 3, and I meant 3. Man, I don't know what we did to Mr. Marriott. We'd been messing with him all year. Well, he came back and hit that kid a third time, and that's when that kid cried to all hell. And then he looked at me, pointed the paddle at me, and poked it in my chest. Come on, Mr. Bunch. I said, oh, hell no. There ain't no way in hell. No, sir. Nah, the Black Dragon. I wasn't even called the Black Dragon then, but I knew. And hell no, that ain't even happening. You're not doing that to John Edward Bunch II. No, sir. And he was like, you're not going to accept my authority? And he screamed authority like a cat, outrage, like maybe a cat out on the plains. You're not going to accept my authority? It's like, no, hey, send me home. I'll take the 3 days. Hey, bro, 3 days. Garland Davis was like, there ain't no way in hell. You're not. No, sir. Not if John Bunch ain't doing it. If John Bunch ain't doing it, I ain't doing it. No, sir. So the coach was all offended. Our poor dude here, our white dude, our compatriot was looking at us like, I know you cats did not let me take them 3 licks, and y'all ain't fit to stand with the brotherhood here. I was like, bro, you got it. You're a G. We didn't even have the word G back then. You're a treble clef. You got it. No, I'm out. And so we went to the principal's office. And the principal was like, well, if you don't take those licks, we have to send you home. I was like, man, I got my assignments. I got all my homework. I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to go on home. I'm going on home. Until they called Annie Siobhan Wakefield Bunch, my mama. And my mom, she was at work. She answered the phone. Yeah, we're going to have to send John home. Well, what in the hell for? Is it a school day? Have the Iranian dropped a bomb on us? Did something happen with the Shah of Iran? Well, no, ma'am. He has refused to accept his spanking from Mr. Marriott. So protocol dictates. We had protocol then. You think MC protocol is the only protocol? We had protocol then. Protocol dictates that we send his black ass home. And my mom said, rest her soul. My mom could be such a damn Judas. For someone who had you would think that she would have your back. Well, and these could do this whole snake in the ground on you. You'd just be like, Mom, you're slithering over there. Can we stand up on 2 feet, please? My mom says, so you can't handle a 12-year-old? She challenged his manhood on me. He said up straight up, well, Miss Bunch, I'll have you know we can handle a 12-year-old. Am I going to have to come to the school and do your job? What do we pay you for if you can't handle these children? You're kidding me, right? Are you a man or are you a mouse? You're going to let this child tell you what to do? And she hung up the phone in his face. He called her back. Miss Bunch, you hung up the phone in my face. She said, if you send my child home unescorted to sit at home by himself for the next 3 days while I'm on my job, then you're going to have a lot bigger problem than a 12-year-old. He will be at school. Now, don't call me up on my job and mess with me no more. Handle that boy. And you can damn well believe when he gets home, I'm going to handle him too. So he hangs up the phone and he stares at me. And of course, Garland Davis's mom, after hearing what my mom said the same damn thing with her traitor ass. Because I kind of halfway thought I'd be going to hang out at Garland Davis's house. Well, principal's looking at me, his hand, your hand on the desk drumming thing. And he says, you're going to have to go back and take those licks from Mr. Marriott. You don't have any. They called them licks. There was nothing licky about them. They should have called them sticks, stings, burns, bruises, slaps. Licks was not the word. Licks. Licks sound like something wonderful you're about to get. You're going to have to go take those licks. And I was like, man, no. I'm a human being. I can determine what I can take and what I can't take. My mama, the mafia, God himself will not make me go bend over and take that shit, that hell that cat is throwing out. Do you understand that guy reached up to China, out beyond the stratosphere, into the beyond the atmosphere, out into outer space? This guy reached so far away you couldn't see out to the end of the paddle. Swung through like Tiger Woods, who probably wasn't even born yet, and almost broke that board on that man. That he's not hitting me. Garland Davis said, let us take him from the coach. I looked at Garland and I was thinking, you're right. I'd rather take him from the coach. The coach had mercy. This Mr. Marriott he was so full of us messing with him all year, he was trying to kill a couple of brothers. And finally, as a compromise, the principal decided, okay, I'll swat them. Since they're obviously not going to go get murdered by Mr. Marriott, I'll give them the swats. Oh, his weak ass swats. I didn't even cry. What? Oh, hell, I'll take 15 of these. What? Oh, yeah. There's another one coming. What? The principal, weak, soft principal. Thank God. I tell you guys a story because it was tough. Corporal punishment was tough. And maybe sometimes teachers like Mr. Marriott have maybe went overboard. Gio says, man, I haven't heard someone say take your licks in 30 years. It's been a while, right? Somebody says a West Indian from Toronto, we kids never went to Licks burgers, even though they made the best burgers in Toronto, because most of us West Indian kids got licks and hated the word. Oh, yes, sir. I understand. And I tell you that story to say that it was tough, and licks were quite intimidating. But I lived to see a time when my kids were going to school, and so I had to raise my nephew for a while, because of family issues. My nephew had gone to live with my mother, and then she adopted a kid, and both of them lived with my mother, and then my mother died. And then when that happened, they came to live with me. So then I was back into the school system again. And now it was a different world. One thing I saw was this medicine that they were giving these kids, this Ritalin and Prozac. And this they were administering instead of licks. And I would go to school and see parents come in fighting teachers. I'd never seen that before. My mother never fought a teacher. Like, no, they were all fighting me. There was never this questioning of the authority of a teacher. Where did you get your degree from? This kind of thing you didn't. That was Mrs. Smith or Miss Smith. I can name almost all of my teachers. There was Sister Mary Ann Teresa. There's Miss Roberts, the kindergarten teacher. Oh, she was fine, almost 6 feet tall. She was fine. I used to have daydreams about her. She was so fine. I was a kindergartner trying to lay down on the ground so she could walk over me and I could look up her skirt. Okay, I know. She was fine as hell. Then there was Sister Mary Ann Teresa. Penguin. No, you don't look up her dress. Hell no. Then my second grade teacher was Miss Worthing. My third grade teacher was Miss Ellis, Mrs. Ellis. My fourth grade teacher was my mother's fourth grade teacher, Mrs. Nelson. My fifth grade teacher was my first man teacher, and I don't remember his name. He beat the hell out of me too. And then, I can name my teachers. That's how much respect we had for teachers. What I see today, what I saw then when my nephew, when I had him to raise and he was going to school, I was seeing the most outrageous things you could ever see from parents and how they treat teachers. I saw a couple parents come in, circle a teacher up, and whoop her ass in the school at the parent-teacher meeting. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. The things I saw teachers do and the things I saw teachers take. And I watched a policy from my mom, beat his ass, to if you touch our kid, we will kill you. If you touch our kid, you're going to go to jail. I watched a video where a kid walked into a classroom, this black teacher, and this kid walked up on him talking about, I'll whoop you, I'll do this, I'll do that. He's flexing on him and stuff. And the teacher finally had enough and slapped that kid, and God we trust. And the kid is fighting him like a man. As the teacher's fighting him, 4 or 5 other kids jump in and attack the teacher. What the hell is going on? Just read recently where a county in either Texas or Georgia, somewhere, I can't believe, but they've just brought corporal punishment back after, I guess, 40 years of it being gone. But for my nephew and his adopted brother, they had these pills for these folks to take, Ritalin and Prozac, and I can't remember what each one did. I got someone on here that says I took Ritalin. It made a lot of kids sterile. There was a big lawsuit. I didn't know that. Somebody said, laughing my black butt off. That story just jumping on my dad, my mama, my grandparents, then aunties, uncles, and neighbors, and not necessarily in that order when I was bad. Yeah, everybody and anybody could whoop you. Uh, Somebody said one of the many ways our culture has lost respect for any authority, not just cops, parents, teachers, coaches, elders, neighborhood parents, the whole thing. My wife is a teacher. People think they are there to teach their kids how to act, and this is not so. She is there to make sure your kids can read and do math. Yeah, there. It's different now. It's really different. It's different from where I grew up. It's different from Kingfisher. It's different from Lawton. It's different from Chickasha, Duncan, uh, uh, Norman, and Moore, and these places that I grew up in that people have never heard the names of. The whole neighborhood molded you. So when I tell you that when I joined an MC, I respected those that were above me in the MC, the elders, the godfather, the sergeant at arms, the road captain, my sponsor. I as a prospect, I wasn't walking up to people talking about who the hell do you think you are? What? Then there was this No Child Left Behind thing that came out. And that was an amazing thing to me because you're telling me that no matter what this kid fails to do, you are not going to fail the kid. I'm going to talk more about that in a second. You guys know I'm on these blood pressure pills, so accidentally took one before the show. I got to run. I'll be right back after this. And of course, you guys know I love these rings. My sister accused me of having demonic rings. How you gonna accuse me? She told me she was terrified of my rings, and she said each ring was more demonic than the one that I would previously put on. Each one was more terrifying than the previous one. And I don't understand how she could say that about my rings. My rings are cool. You gotta have some cool rings if you're these are my rings, man. So if you like rings, like I like rings, biker rings, you can go here to Gothic Rings, gthic.com. Just like with the soap company, if you use your discount code of Black Dragon, you get you a very cool discount, 20% in this case. I like the Medusa ring, man. They got some very cool rings here. They got Masonic rings, So use these folks. They're pewter and all kind of stuff, silver, actual silver in these rings, and they've got stainless steel rings. Man, their rings are the bomb. I like them. I wear them. So get you some, man. Get you some. Man, note to self. Don't take blood pressure medicine before the show. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Let's see if we can get another 15 minutes in. Okay, so then they had this No Child Left Behind thing that came out. And, I'm a little old, so I don't remember exactly how it worked. But it seemed like it worked in everything. Like no team could seem to lose a game. Both teams got a trophy. You mean no one lost? No one could be kicked off a team. No, no matter whether you showed up for practice or not. Two people competing and they both got a trophy. And all of this gobbledygook that is not true in the world. Now, There are going to be experts that say, you've got it wrong. It didn't actually work like that. Maybe it didn't. Maybe I'm oversimplifying it or whatever. But we saw it in the Navy. We saw these kids start coming into the submarine community after spending this time in these schools and stuff. And we had to change the whole way we trained these kids. In the Navy, they came up with these training timeout cards. Because the way I went through boot camp, and I don't know if this was a good thing, but you could be cursed out, you could be knocked out, you could catch a fade. The boot camp company commander could just get pissed off enough to pull his anchors off, whatever the case may be, and whoop your ass. I've seen it. Been there. Done that. You could be, we called it mashing. In my day, it was called mashing when somebody would mash you with calisthenics and make you do push-ups until you died or thought you were going to. And you could be called all kind of things. They called me hippie. When I showed up, I had a fro out to here, this big fro. And I kept that fro for about 7 hours before every nodule of hair I had was cut off. And then, but they didn't forget, like, hey, here's the hippie. Bro, I ain't been a hippie for 6 weeks now. What are you talking about? They wouldn't let it go, right? They would pick on you. They would curse you out because I was going to be a submarine sailor. My boot camp company commander, Senior Chief Nelson, made me crawl on the ground underneath the bunks and say, ping, listen, train. Ping, listen, train. Because he was a sonar tech on a submarine. And he made me crawl on the ground under the bunks while an Airedale, a guy that was going to be an Airedale, had to walk around in circles and go, wee. It was childish. It was humiliating. It was disrespectful. The senior chief said, get it done. So underneath the bunks, I was crawling on my stomach like a fake submarine. I can remember FTG-1, maybe. MAYBEE. I remember how tough those dudes were. Hey, you could be called a racial epithet back then. Absolutely could happen to you. And boy, sonar girl, Trevor Drake, my submarine sailor. Absolutely, he was a damn sonar girl. But what you had was you had a patience. You had you didn't get all your panties in a bunch. You were even killed all the way. You didn't have to have an ego. Then we saw these guys come into the Navy. We had to have these training timeout cards. You couldn't push them. If a guy felt like his feelings were being unduly hurt and he was being unduly punished, he could hold this card up in boot camp and say, training timeout. You've got to stop pushing on me right now. Who came up with that? I knew guys that started getting out of the Navy when that started going out. Not timeout cards, training timeout. I don't know what the hell that was or what it meant. And then we had some time-honored traditions that were just really hazing Like when you crossed the equator, you got your ass whooped. When you went across the North Pole, you got your ass whooped. When you went through the Panama Canal, you got your ass whooped. When you went south past the Antarctic line, you got your ass whooped. There was all kind. Order of Magellan, Order of the Ditch, Order of the Shellback, Order of the Blue Nose. Oh, there were more. Order of the Red Dragon. There was all kind of these orders of. Just read that as, I got my ass whooped. And then there was whenever you got a new rank, when they would put it on your arm, guys of that rank would come and tack it on. Called that tack it on. They would tack on your crow, which was an eagle with a thing that was your rank, or they would tack on your dolphins, or tack on your wings, or tack on your splish, which were people that got dolphins and wings. Dolphins were called fish, and your jump wings, whatever you had, somebody would tack them on. And those were tough dudes. They were getting ready to fight your battles. I don't know what happened, but we start seeing those kids coming into our motorcycle clubs. And you see the effect of No Child Left Behind in the MC. Whining, complaining, jealousy, pettiness, and the inability to take any kind of criticism whatsoever. And we see the inability to be told what to do. You don't tell me what to do. One time I actually got in a fight with a club brother who was young, in his 30s, for yelling at him. My own father doesn't talk to me like that. Well, he should have. He should have. You telling me your own father's never screamed at you? Your own father's never told you you're a dumb jackass? And get your SHIT together? Did they miss that? Did a whole generation miss that? "99%er Club said, my niece is now my nephew, Black Dragon. This is where and how we are living. I cannot wait until a woman decides to approach an MC and say they identify as a male biker and watch all hell break loose." I'm positive that has happened. Yeah, I mean, certainly that's happened. So I think that if you're an older guy like we are, and you're trying to figure out what the hell's going on with my motorcycle club, why is it so difficult? Why do the young folks get so mad? Why do the young folks get so mad when when you give them some negative criticism? Why does a guy want to run for regional president and he's been in the club for less than 2 years? And he cannot point to a damned single accomplishment, but would get biting mad enough to whoop your booty if you told him he wasn't qualified to run. Why does a guy with 1 year in the club want to walk up to you and declare a nomad? What are these kids smoking? Motorcycle clubs, they don't vote for who's the best guy for the job. They vote on popularity contests. Is this because social media? Well, you can get on here and say anything and represent yourself as anyone. And bro, you can have 1 million followers. They bring those ideas into the club, into club life. You got to understand where it's coming from. They've been grooming these kids to be failures for 30 years. Now, some of the stuff is necessary. Like I think schools should teach a lot more how to start a business than how to respond to a bell. In my days, schools were training workers. I didn't realize it until I went to Newport News Shipyard in 1986 or so, 84, something like that, where I built the USS Salt Lake City SSN 716 at the shipyard. I helped build it anyway. I was part of the crew. We built that boat, new construction. They just not long ago decommissioned it. It became a Navy SEAL team boat that delivered SEALs and all this stuff. It had a storied history. Did all kinds of top secret stuff, this boat. And so when I went to the shipyard there to build it in Newport News, Virginia, man, that was a tough place back then. Woo! You could get your butt tore up. It was a tough city, bro. Tough city. But I went to the shipyard, and I went there to work at the shipyard. And the people that worked there at the shipyard, we called them yard birds. There was us, the Navy guys, and the yard birds. And, we didn't particularly get along with them, and they didn't particularly get along with us. And it was a small environment. Thousands and thousands of people worked there. And they worked there by these whistles. They were almost like air horns, kind of like on a diesel truck or something. But instead of having they were actually kind of like whistles, like on a train or something. And these whistles would signify when you had to be to work and when you could go on lunch and when you could go home. This was crazy. It was just like high school. I understood what high school was for. When I went to junior high, they started having bells ring. And I got to see that in real life. Right before, you couldn't leave before 5. Maybe 5 was the cutoff. And so maybe at 4:30, 4:45, people would start cleaning up. Then you would see people gather at the gate waiting for that damn whistle. Now, we Navy guys, we worked 24 hours. There wasn't no effing whistle. We laugh you mean you get to get off now? You actually get off. So we weren't whistle trained, but I watched them yard birds. And when that whistle would blow, they would run to their cars by the thousands, trying to be the first to get to your car to get out on the high. They would run. It was just like running in high school. I couldn't believe people lived like that. They lived. That's what high schools were teaching back then. How to answer that bell, because you were going to be run by a bell for your whole life. I saw guys that been working 30, 40 years over there, still running to get their car and get out of the parking lot before anybody else. Running. You would see them just take off running. That's when I decided, when I get out the Navy, I'm going to have me a desk job, bro. I ain't fixing to be running. I ain't fixing to be answering no clock like that. So I think it's important for schools to teach something else, like starting a business and investing in Bitcoin or whatever the case may be. They didn't teach none of that when I was in school. But they went a whole different way too. They stopped teaching discipline, self accountability. If everybody can get a trophy just because they showed up, then can you be surprised that just because a guy passed his prospect period, now he thinks he should be elected president of the club? Can you imagine that a person thinks that just because they made it into the vest, now their prospect ship is over? That a guy with 4 months in the club actually believes he's on the same level with a guy that has 40 years in the club. One patch, one vote, bro. Sure, technically. When I hear these guys crying, I did this for the club, and I did that for the club, and I did this for the club, and I did that for the club, and I did this for the club, and the club doesn't respect me because they haven't given back to me what I gave to them. And you realize that these children haven't even been taught to give. In my day, a great president said, ask not what your country can give to you, but what you can give to your country. We were taught to give more of ourselves than we take. If you're looking at your motorcycle club and realizing that that you're not seeing that kind of attitude from the people you're bringing in these days, man, now you know where it's coming from. It's coming from what they're getting at home. So you got a whole bunch of teaching to do, OG. You got to start with basic teachings of the principles of manhood, with the principles of respect and self-respect. You got to understand that some of these guys ain't getting none of that at all. A lot of these kids are being raised in single-parent homes, and they're going to schools with no men. And they're coming to your motorcycle club completely raised by women. They don't know how to scratch it out in the marble box or the sandbox. They don't understand anything about it. A lot of these kids are coming to you homeschooled because the parents were so pissed off at the school system and didn't trust anybody, and Big Brother's got, and you got people coming into your club that are completely unsocialized. They got issues, bro, that we didn't particularly have. So a lot of times, like, I know a man who has prospected for his motorcycle club 6 or 7 damn times. Wasn't nothing but a thing. Oh, they took your patch. Yeah, I know. You tell a kid he's got a prospect again today, you might have to kill him. He might be trying to kill you. I'm watching these kids grab guns and pull guns, and listen, it happened to me yesterday. Yesterday in Tucker, Georgia, a kid pulled a gun on me 24 hours ago. They have loosened all the gun laws around here in Tucker, in Georgia. Now you can carry concealed, and you ain't got to have a concealed carry permit. And I'm all for that, but I've realized that what that means is that there's going to be a lot of idiots walking around with guns too. And so this kid in a hamburger shop, I guess he didn't like the way I looked at him. And he's yelling at me from his car. So the whole story, I see the kid in the hamburger shop with his pants down around his ass with the tag of his underwear showing. And I typically, when I see that, I say, why you got your damn pants hanging around off your ass? You look stupid. That's something I typically say. You shouldn't say that. But most of the time I have a Malinois sitting right here. So I've gotten away with saying that. But this time I didn't say nothing. For some reason, thank you, God, I didn't say nothing. Just looked at him. Maybe he saw it on my face. And so then as he walks out to his car, I look over at him. I just looked. I wasn't particularly doing anything. I just looked over there and he had a gun. And he put it on top of the car so he could get in the car, I guess. And I'm like, gee, well, I wouldn't have where did he carry the gun out? Could he have carried it on his waist? Because his pants were down around his ass. So where the hell was he carrying the gun at? And as I was thinking to myself, man, I guess you got to carry all the time here if just anybody's got a gun. And I guess that's when he saw me looking at him. And my God, this kid exploded. He started screaming, what are you doing looking at me or whatever? That's what it sounded like he was saying. I was in the store, in the restaurant still. Next thing I know, he's pointing at the door. Come on out here with this gun in his hand. I don't want no trouble. Hell, I don't have mine. I wish I did. Mine's on the front seat, dumbass. I guess you got to be loaded and walking around ready for bear. EDC nowadays means EDC. But I got to thinking about, what if I was another kid like him? So mad. My ego's not bruised. I didn't get into a fight with him. I didn't go outside and show him how tough I was. I just held up my hand. Nah, I don't want no trouble, man. I went on, back away from the window. We're good. I don't need no trouble, bro. I ain't got no ego. But these kids today could have been a shootout at the burger lot. So that's what those school policies did, man. That's what they've turned out on your streets today. And that's what you have in your motorcycle clubs. So you got to figure out how to get a few things. Uncle Shaggy told us. You remember Uncle Shaggy 1%er? OG Uncle Shaggy 1%er? He told us the hallmarks of any great organization are respect and participation. Respect and participation. Respect and participation. All these motorcycle clubs I'm seeing have the same issues. People won't ride. People don't have any respect. People don't participate. They're not emceeing. They're me-seeing. So you have to learn how and figure out how and develop how to build up the respect in the club and build up the participation. If you'll ever hear Black Sabbath meeting, or you ever hear my brothers talk to each other on a phone, or if you go and you look at a video that I've done with my brothers, I did one Sunday. There's something that they do when they communicate to one another. They always, whenever one calls, the first thing they say is honor and respect. We put respect first. Whenever you call a brother, honor and respect. Brother Black Dragon, how are you? I honor you with my phone call, and I'm honored that you would accept my call. And I respect you. Honor and respect. Salutation. We start the call off on a good note. You will see it if you go see. We did a video, I forget the name of it. We did a video not long ago, and I had all my brothers on. And somebody would say, honor and respect. They would say their piece, and then when they're done talking, I yield the floor. So then our communications is professional and polite with one another. One person doesn't step on another. When you're finished talking, I yield the floor. I yield. Permission to speak. I yield. Almost like a submarine rolling through the ocean. Alpha men respecting alpha men produces an environment of productivity. You want to make your motorcycle club better? Build the respect levels, build the participation levels. We have trophies that our men get. We have patches that they get. If you're a bad rider and you're putting down 1,500 miles in a day, 1,589 miles in a day, we got one guy that's got like 1,736 miles in a day, something like that. They have these patches. They're like in our club, like in the military, have all these ribbons and stuff and medals. We have that. Build up the respect. Build up the participation. Build up the honor and the respect and the participation and the communication. If you got a motorcycle club that's fighting, I bet y'all ain't rode nowhere. I'll bet you ain't rode nowhere. Or is it better said, I bet that you guys haven't spent a lot of time riding together. Is that better English there? Is that spoken better? I bet that you haven't ridden much together. Or I bet you ain't rode nowhere in a long time. Motorcycle clubs are like armies, little armies. And if an army doesn't train in fighting and just sits around with no enemy to fight, they begin to lack discipline. They begin to lack respect for one another, and they turn on one another, and they fight internally, and they eat each other up. We see that a lot in the Russian army when the conscripts get beaten and sexually abused and all this kind of stuff that we've read about in the papers. And now you look and see how many of them guys they have lost in the war they're fighting right now. You got to have this level of competency that you're always pushing. You got to train your brothers to ride. If you got a club and you guys are riding staggered because you got brothers that are afraid to ride, I bet you got a club that's not training to ride together. It's just easier to get together and ride staggered instead of practicing until you get formation riding correctly, because that's when an MC looks the best. That's when any parade looks the best, when people are riding as one. That's when the parade looks the best. So you got to train. You got to practice. You got to be about the business of making this lifestyle a reality in everything that you do to approach it. And you got to understand that a lot of these kids you're getting in these clubs today have been crippled by the system that's putting kids out today. So you got to stay off their ass so much and teach and advise and have patience so much more. These are the things that'll make your MC well. You have to be disciplined to expect them to see discipline. They will see it. And you got to be better than you ever wore. You get our age, you want to retire and just sit back and be comfortable, but you can't yell at the direction that the MC is going when you've taken your hands off of it. It's like a grandparent who gets their kids' children to raise. Oh, man, I thought we were done. No, Grandpa, roll up your sleeves. You might have to take a second job. You got another set of kids to raise. And this we do because we love the MC. And we love where the MC is going. Ronald Bill said, how you became a grandmother at 28, easy. My cousin had a baby at 13 and she had a baby at 13. Yeah. That happens. So anyway, that's my 60 minutes. I just wanted to talk about that subject this morning. And I hope you guys had fun with it. We want to make sure that we mention our sponsors. Today's show was brought to you by Attorney Matthew Nolan at the Troutman law firm over there. And let me do this real quick. Let me see. Yeah. So bring this up for you guys. Hold on a second. There we go. So this is today's show sponsor at the Troutman Martin law firm over there. And you want to call Attorney Matthew Nolan at 612-644-3837, 612-644-3837, or mnolan at troutlaw.com, MNOLAN at troutlaw.com. And Attorney Nolan is here to help you guys do your 501c3s, 501c7s, all of your intellectual properties, trademark, all that sort of thing for your motorcycle club. They can handle you over there, 612-644-3837. And we're glad to have them as a sponsor. They are sponsoring this show. They're helping to bring the kind of material you like to see. So glad to have them aboard. Absolutely appreciate them and Attorney Nolan. He did an incredible show Sunday for the roundtable, and that show was how to get your club's 501c3. Yeah. Or C7. C3 or C7. So check him out, listen to that thing, and help take your motorcycle club to the next level. So that's that. Listen, hit that like button, you guys. Share and subscribe. That helps the algorithm, so please do that for me. You can find Black Dragon Biker TV on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Order my books, Prospects Bible, Sergeant at Arms Bible, President's Bible, Public Relations Bible, and Kindle, all available. You can get them all on Amazon or Kindle, or you can get them at blackdragonsgear.com. We've got a new book. Well, it's an old book, but it's been done in a new form. The President's Bible you can now get on Audible. We'll be giving books away again tomorrow. So if I've not sent you your book, please send me an email over at Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com. I get behind, so if I didn't send you your book, you should have it by now. Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com if you didn't get your free Audible book. So our first month in sales of the new Audible book are really cool. I just want to say thank you to you all. Join our podcast, The Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos, The Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos, wherever you get your podcast. We're syndicated all over the place. Please join our Discord server. The link is in the description box below. Join our Discord server and hang out with us there. We'd absolutely appreciate you. Listen, Frost wants you to know that he is very, very thankful. We raised, I think it was $238. his surgery for his dog is $400. So we raised like $238 for his dog surgery. And if you guys want to give any more to help him out even further, he wants you to know that he is so thankful. And I have forwarded to him the email addresses of each and every one of you that have given, so that he can have his kids. They want to send you guys emails and thank you. So SSW Custom Sewing, Joshua Watkins, we appreciate you. Jonathan DeLuca, Thomas Spain, Jessica Merrick, Drago Orion, Aunt Squirrely, Shirley Koger, she's been with us forever. Lissa, you guys know Lissa. She's given Mitchell Frazier. Now these are my so those are my PayPal people. These are my Cash App people. Michelle Frazier, James W. Anniser, C. Ruger gave. Thank you, C. Ruger. Eric Foss, Nadia Love. She's new to our channel, and she's not even a biker, and she's hanging out with us, man. And she gave, and I'm so thankful that she's found herself a place in our community. Thank you so much, Donald Poe, long time soldier for us. Been watching us forever. Thank you, Donald. Danny Moore. Thank you, Derek Warrington. Thank you so much. Vernon Powell, also known as Bolo, our submarine sailor. Thank you. Oh, man. Geo the Great. Thank you, man. We appreciate you. There's some more of you guys who've given. I'm going to have all of your names up here. I'm still trying to get everybody's name collected, but just want to thank you all. I was asking you guys for $5 or $10, and you guys sent it, and we're we want to get this dog out of its issues. And so thank you so much for the love on this channel, man. Brother Frost is a good dude. He has helped me and Bone from the Boneyard, and he follows, I think, all these channels. So he is a strong supporter, and we want to support him but he wanted to make sure that that him and his children are thankful for even the fact that you guys would think about them and love them. And if you want to send them anything, you can send it to that one guy Frost on Cash App. $ that one guy Frost, all one word. And it's $THAT, the number 1 GUIFROST. Oh man, I left off the O. Let me do that again. $ at one guy Frost. There you go. That's better. Let me put $ that one guy Frost. So he still is short a little bit, and if we can, how can I speak with Frost, Black Dragon? Mike, I will text you his phone number, and you can call him directly if you would like. Mike Ball. So anyway, thank you, man. Thank you so much, everybody that helped Mike Frost, and those who couldn't. He says thank you just for even thinking about him and having him in your prayers. So, all right, man, this is a good thing. Good thing. All right, I'm Black Dragon. That's my 2 cents. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning where we'll talk about something. Thank you for listening to an old man rant. It's a lot of fun, and honor and respect to you all. Listen, motorcycle clubbing is the greatest thing I've ever done. You may hear me talk negative about it, and woe is me, and woe is us, and woe is the motorcycle club. But bro, when I'm out there with my brothers on them twos, there ain't nothing like it. So anyway, is this one of you guys calling me? Hold on a second. Hello? Okay, so it's not one of y'all. Typically, when I get a call during the show, it's one of y'all calling me to tell me something. All right, so that's it. Riding is great, man, and riding in a motorcycle. Oh, I'm gonna do a reaction video to this guy who did a video called "The Difference Between Riders and Bikers," and you guys know that I did that video before many times from my standpoint. But here is a guy called Squire, SCA. And you might want to go check this out, this video. I'm going to do a reaction video to this. But if you want to know how civilians see bikers, check out Squire, SCA, how civilians see club bikers. A lot of the stuff that he talks about in this video is really kind of interesting, the way he sees us, and the way a civilian sees it. And a lot of times when you say a civilian says, "Well, hey, I got a 6-shooter on my side and I'm ready to use it," you can kind of hear the that but you get to hear why and what he's thinking, and it's just a great way to think about and listen to how an average regular American biker sees and thinks and feels about all of this. You better not pass us, and you better do this, and you better do that. And he's kind of like, I didn't sign up for that BS, and I ain't even fixing to be bothered with it. It's a great video. It's a great video to I don't agree with a lot of the stuff he says, which makes it even a better video. He even mentions my name in it. I'm like, oh, I got somebody knows me. Wow. Not that he listens to me or even watches me or has even subscribed, but he knows who I am. And, he didn't talk about me too bad. It was okay. But I think it's important to hear how these people think about us, and maybe have a mirror of truth held up to your ass. It might be interesting. So I'm absolutely going to react to this video. I fell asleep watching it last night, so I didn't have enough time to do something for it this morning, but I think it is really eye-opening, and I'm so glad he did it. I did one called Bikers versus Riders. You should watch mine and watch his and just look at the difference in how we see things. I see we got Come Get This Commentary watching. She's got a great channel. Go check her out. Come Get This Commentary. She says, speaking the truth and reality isn't negative. People need to hear the real, sometimes uncomfortable truth and the good. That's why you're respected. Well, I appreciate that. So I think oh hell, Mike is telling me to be on time. Woo! That's going to be tough. I think it would be amazing to see the reaction video. Okay, so I'm going to do it. All right, listen, people, thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel. I'm Black Dragon. That's my 2 cents. Love to hear your 2 cents in the comment section below. Thanks for tuning in. Derek Warrington, I did say your name, didn't I? If I didn't, I don't remember saying his name, but absolutely, Derek Warrington gave us some money too. And I don't see that I wrote his name up here, but he did. And so thank you, sir. We appreciate you. God bless you. All right, man. I'm out. Thanks for tuning in, and get skinny and get the book. Prepare yourself to take the helm as president of your mighty motorcycle club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book.
Get Black Dragon's first book, The Prospect's Bible, to learn how to join a motorcycle club. It has been an Amazon #1 bestseller for the past 7 years and is required reading for over 3,000 motorcycle clubs worldwide. This book is a must have for new people venturing onto the motorcycle club set. It will teach you how to prepare yourself for service to the motorcycle club nation and show you how to qualify a motorcycle club to be worthy of your service. Available on Amazon, Kindle, and for order at your local bookstore. Get your autographed copy at blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club prospect you can be. Get the book.
You are fake news. Black Dragon Biker News Network. Biker news you can trust.
Biker news you can trust. Biker news you can trust. Biker news you can trust.